To understand the scale of what we are dealing with, I spoke with Cheta Nwanze. He runs SBM Intelligence, a Lagos-based research firm that has spent years tracking every kidnapping in Nigeria. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me on this very important topic of insecurity in our country, Nigeria. So your team tracked nearly 5,000 kidnappings in a single year. When you first saw the full data set come together, what pattern emerged that surprised even you?
When you have just over 4,700 kidnappings, 4,700 people taken around in just under 1,000 incidents, it's almost 5 people per incident. That qualifies as a mass kidnapping. Now the pattern that's really jumps out is not the scale. It's the democratization of the victim pool.
The kidnappers asked for a total of 48 billion naira. They collected 2.57 billion, about 5% of what they demanded. The ransom demands total 48 billion naira, but only 2.5 billion gets paid. What does that 5% collection rate tell us about how the system actually works?
It's the business model. I mean, if we go back to what I said earlier, it's a mass market thing. So just think of it as a sort of a scatter diagram, for want of a better word. When you go into a village, you pick 20 people, you know that some of them will not be able to pay. But there's the chance that one of the 20 will be able to pay. Maybe one of the 20 will die. So that's 5% collection rates. And think about it this way. It's actually, when you have 48 billion demanded, but just about 2.5 billion paid, that's roughly 5%. So it's clearly a model of mass kidnaps. Grab as many people as we can, and then those people with fee pay, they go pay. Then the ones with no fee pay, well, anything with the same, they take up.
The Northwest accounted for 62% of every person taken, and the prices aren't random. Clergy are targeted more than almost anyone. 17 Catholic priests were taken in that 1-year window alone. The single biggest ransom was 766 million naira for one man, a high court judge in Borno State. That one payment was nearly a third of all the ransom money paid in the entire country that year. But once a price is agreed, once a family has sold land, borrowed from neighbors, emptied every account they have, somebody has to carry the money. Sometimes one man, one motorcycle, one black polythene bag full of cash. He rides into the forest until someone stops him. So how does a ransom delivery actually work? Walk us through the logistics.
This one man on a motorcycle model that you see from, for example, from the Islamia school case is real, but it's not the entire picture. So let's start with Kuriga, the school kidnap, where 135 pupils were taken. The negotiators did not show up with an envelope. They arrived in SUVs and Hilux trucks. Cash was transferred at the forest edge, loaded onto 18 motorcycles. Each motorcycle carrying 2 Ghana must-go bags stuffed with money. That tells you something. This is a logistical operation. Basically, these groups have holding camps that are deep in forests in places like Rigasa, Birningwari, Zamfara. The money has to be moved across terrain that the security forces, I'm not going to say can't patrol. What I would say is will not patrol. 2024 report, we pointed out a new trend that's a very bad new trend. Ransom bearers getting killed or kidnapped themselves. The most striking case was one of a chap, 27-year-old guy named Abba, who was delivering 16 million naira and 3 motorcycles to kidnappers in Kaduna State. And then they killed him for being rude because he was trying to keep his own motorcycle. Then there was another case in Dogondaji in Kaduna. Kidnappers shot and killed 2 vigilantes who had volunteered to be ransom bearers, then killed the 3 hostages anyway after collecting 25 million naira.
Well, in 2021, parents of children kidnapped from an Islamic school in Niger State pulled a second payment of 30 million. They gave it to a local man named Kasimo and sent him along with a few others in the delivery party.